In 1994, a group of archaeologists were conducting excavations at Temple 13 on the Grand Plaza in Palenque, the ancient Mayan city in southern Mexico. During the excavations, archaeologist Arnoldo Gonzalez discovered what is now known as the Tomb of the Red Queen, a burial site dating to approximately 600 AD. He named her the Red Queen because of the vast amounts of red pigment that filled her tomb. The discovery of this archaeological site is broadly considered to be one of the most important discoveries in the Maya region in the last 50 years. The offerings that surrounded the Red Queen's remains, including over 1,000 necklaces, earrings, jade bracelets, pearls, obsidian, bone, and shells, firmly place this figure as a member of the governing group of Palenque. Born in Mexico City and currently living in New York City and Santa Fe, New Mexico, Ricardo Mazal is an artist who exhibits his paintings, drawings, prints, photographs, and installations in galleries and museums internationally. In his work, Mazal combines time-honored techniques with very contemporary tools, creating oil paintings based on studies generated with the aid of the computer and digital imagery.
I began the Red Queen project by traveling to Palenque and photographing the site. Upon returning to my studio, I took the resulting images and reconstructed them digitally into new combinations. This was a means to generate the ideas that would fit the content that I was looking for in the Red Queen. The first digital stage of this process concluded when I arrived at the computer-generated virtual paintings that I liked, and subsequently began to develop these ideas onto the canvas itself. From this point on, a dialogue between the computer and the paintings began to take place, in which I photographed the resulting early canvases and brought those images back into the computer as a new means to generate studies for the following stages of the works. I then took those digital studies back to the painting, back to the computer, and continued to work back and forth in this manner until the final paintings were done. Conceptually, I decided to approach the Red Queen project by creating work that deals with three distinct zones of imagery or inquiry: the tomb, the stones from the temple, and the jungle. I conceived the project by placing the tomb as the center or first zone. The tomb is then surrounded by stones of the temple, or second zone, which in turn is surrounded by the jungle or third zone. Each of these layers is important to the other because one of the ways I develop my imagery is by borrowing from different kinds of images. Digital transformations of photographs have a role in the way my paintings evolve, and the paintings in turn influence the kinds of things I photograph. When I was at Palenque, I was invited to visit the ruins at night, and it was there that I thought of photographing the jungle in the dark. The branches illuminated by the camera flash began to look like drawings in the air. In the background of these images, you see layers formed by light to dark as the light from the flash recedes into the distance. I subsequently made a series of digital transformations based on these photographs, with the purpose of bringing the images one step closer to abstraction and drawing. Like the images of the jungle, I made an extensive series of photographs of the stones from the temples. Later in my studio, I produced digital transformations of these images. Working with these photographs, I discovered a striking relationship between some of my paintings and the stones. The grays, whites, and blacks of the stones, together with touches of colors such as red and green caused by fungus and water stains, have an uncanny resemblance to some of my recent paintings with similar pictorial characteristics. The color red has been present in my work throughout my career as a painter. I've worked with this color in various ways, and for me, it has taken on many symbolic meanings. My desire to work with the subject of the Red Queen, in fact, began when I first saw a picture of her remains covered in cinnabar red pigment. In this series of paintings, the color is meant to directly evoke the red pigment of the tomb of the Queen. Much has been written about Maya culture, but rarely have the less tangible aspects of it been interpreted. My interest in developing this project was motivated, on the one hand, by the theme of the Red Queen, which is fascinating in itself. On the other hand, and perhaps most important for me as an artist, I wanted to provoke in the viewer a new interpretation of a historic theme, different from what he or she may be accustomed to. With my work, I'd like to create a space for exploring the less tangible aspects of these great cultures, their magical and mysterious side, their sensibility for color and form. These are the kinds of things that can't be described in words, but they can be explained in images. For me as an artist, whether I'm working on canvas or using photography or the computer, I believe that developing these ideas through abstraction is crucial, because abstraction allows us to most powerfully explore our emotions, the more intuitive side of our being. Abstraction also opens up the imagination. It is a way of picturing what is present but cannot be seen or touched.